thank you for coming. I
Absolutely.
appreciate it. And it's Jake Rivers, just so that anybody who's watching knows. And you seem to want to have your middle name included when you were being introduced one time. What is your middle name again?
Matthew.
Matthew.
Yeah, so Jake Matthew Rivers.
Yeah. So is there a particular reason for wanting to include that?
I think when I was younger and I was first like starting to play out and everything, I think it just felt like a good stage name. And then all my friends would tell me like, "Oh, that sounds like a rock star name, so you got to keep it." So Jake Matthew Rivers.
Okay.
Now a lot of times people think I'm Dave Matthews. It's like a lot of times when I play live,
yeah, people will
confound
things.
So I'll always start with,
know.
I'll be like, "I'm Jake Matthew Rivers, not Dave Matthews. I promise."
Right, and believe me, when you see me play, you'll know.
Exactly.
Okay. All right. So I like to. The whole idea here is for to explore sort of how you come to be where you are.
Yeah.
So I'll ask: were you in a musical family? Was there something that sort of invited you to do this, or was this something that you had a sense for that you wanted to pursue, or how did this start when you were just paying attention?
So my mom is a singer. She would sing in church and stuff, and she actually majored in music for a little bit. She met my dad in college and everything. But for me, it was I started playing cello when I was 8, just through school, and I was the kid that didn't really practice for a little while, actually.
Really?
Yeah. Specifically with the cello, and then I started playing guitar when I was 12, and I was really interested in that because I remember when I was a little kid around that age when I was 8, I didn't practice cello, but I have like Legos lying around, and I'd make like bands with my Legos and like sing songs and stuff like that when I was a little kid. And so I think I was really interested in music in general, and then I started playing guitar when I was like 12, and there was this moment where I was like, I love this. I love doing this. And so for a while, it was guitar. It was where I'd spend all my time playing music. And then after like 14 or 15, where I don't even know how it happened, but I just kind of had this like thought in my head. I think I was working on Black Dog by Led Zeppelin. And I think there was just this thought. I was like, what if I played this on the cello? And I tried it, and I was like, whoa, this is really cool. I had a lot of fun with it, and so I started doing more of that. And then somewhere down the line, it kind of started with like taking chords from the guitar and how can I play those chords on a cello, and then it kind of led to like being able to play while I sing and do that kind of stuff that I do now.
Okay, so essentially cello, guitar, but not any other instruments that you sort of toyed with, or?
Not until I was a little older. Like when I was in later high school, because I would play in church a lot, and so it was kind of more of the church. I had like the band kind of thing. So I played guitar, and then eventually, because I was one of the kids that was good at music, I started playing bass when we needed it, and then eventually drums too. And so it's been a while.
Yeah, everybody needs a bass player.
Yeah,
it's interesting.
That's how it goes.
I think I can get it. But when you know chords, it's not that hard to at least offer some bottom. To a band. I'm not sophisticated on the upper register of the neck, but anyway, it's fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So you said that you were listening to Led Zeppelin. Anybody else that you were interested in?
Man, it's so weird because my music taste has like changed so much since I was like a kid. Because when I was younger, I remember it was a lot of like there was Zeppelin, there was like AC/DC and Aerosmith and like Iron Maiden and Judas Priest. Like when I was first learning to play guitar, those are the kinds of bands I love to play.
That's pretty heavy stuff.
Yeah, it was all like hard rock and heavy metal when I was a kid. And then I went to school for cello performance, and I think that's especially.
I was wondering about that, how you got to where you are with this. So I'm sorry, please.
Oh no, yeah, absolutely. But I think that's where my music taste started to broaden like a lot. I think think it was just like meeting different people as well who just turned me on to different music.
Mm-hmm.
Like, cause I'm going through my head, like there was a point where somewhere along the line, towards the end of high school, early college, I discovered a band called Punch Brothers, which, if anybody listening or whatever doesn't know who they are, they're kind of like they line up like a bluegrass band. They have that traditional instrumentation, but they're kind of like almost like rock and like classical and jazz musicians all like together, and so like their arrangements are like super interesting. I think it's a big inspiration for specifically trying to take more of those types of genres in the kind of the smaller, more intimate acoustic space that for me.
So it sounds like this stuff was sort of going around in your mind, and you're playing with it in terms of trying it out and listening to things
Yeah,
that were really piquing your interest.
it definitely. It's definitely been I'd say a process too of just as I continue to get older, my music taste evolving and what I do with the cello evolving too. Because definitely when I first started to like sing and play the cello and I started performing with that, it was definitely a more rock oriented set than I think I do now. Not that it isn't rock oriented, but like I say, maybe less so.
Well, one of the things that with the cello, at least as I understand it, you can only harmonize two strings at a time. Is that right? Or
Yeah, pretty
which
much.
seems like that would have to play into how you compose what you do.
Yeah. So when you play with the bow, that is, you can only do 2 strings at a time.
Right.
You can kind of do 3, but it's like really crunchy sounding and not really practical. But the cello, the thing that really makes it interesting is that it's tuned to fifths. So like my tuning goes from lowest to highest, C, G, D, A. So and that means as right, you make a power chord when you play 2 open strings together, or if you just put your one finger down and hold it on 2 strings.
You say this is still part of what I'm learning, but that's interesting to know, and that's what I notice when people play guitar and they do power chords.
Yeah.
That's an interesting sound, and there's a lot to it when you do it.
Yeah. So the way those chords kind of work for me is, again, like where guitar usually it's your first and your third fingers, you have to use 2 fingers. I can just use 1 finger to play a power chord. So it kind of gives me an ability to like start there and like branch out from it with adding other licks to it.
So were you introduced to the cello by your parents, or you were offered a range of things to consider? I mean, how did this work out for you?
The funny story about that is like right when I was 8, I was in a phase where I wanted to just copy everything my older brother did. He was a grade above me, and he picked up the upright bass, like the big stand-up bass. And I wanted to be just like him, but I also knew, because he would always get annoyed when I copied him and did the exact same thing.
No, really?
Yeah. So I was like, I knew he was going to do that. So I was like, let me choose the next best thing. So with the cello.
And it worked for you.
It worked out.
Yeah, it felt right to you. So okay. That's neat. So what's the hardest thing that you know about playing the cello? Like if other people are considering it, what would you tell them as far as what to expect when they go to try to handle the instrument?
I would say with the bow, really the biggest hurdle is just getting a good sound out of like one note. It's because you really kind of have to, there's like a certain balance you have to sustain just like a note and make it sound clean. And that's kind of like, once you get that hurdle, once you can do that comfortably, I would actually say that's more, I would say that like that makes everything else easier. And even I know some people will say like, oh, it's like scary because there's no frets on it,
Yeah, that's another thing I was thinking, is you don't have any frame of reference on it. You really have to use your ear.
Yeah, but I honestly think that becomes easier just once you can play the thing,
Yeah,
So.
yeah, well, and that makes sense. Do you take any lessons now?
Not currently. I would love to, but just the time and everything and working full time and everything like that.
Ah, yes,
But
there is that.
there is that,
Yeah.
but yeah, I did, right up until I graduated, with my degree in college, and I've taught lessons for a little while. I don't currently teach, but I have on and off for the past several years.
So you have an understanding of music as a process, and reading stabs and things like that.
Yeah, I'm classically trained to know how to do all that stuff. And
so when you're putting a song together, do you write it out, or how does that happen?
So that's kind of the funny thing, is because I just said, like, I'm classically trained and I
Right.
know how to read sheet music, but when I do a cover or I write a song, I really don't. I really don't write anything out. I do all that by memory in my ear. I mean, I have like the head knowledge of, like, I know I'm playing like a D chord, or so rather, I guess, what I'd say, not really playing a D chord. That's actually a big thing in how my process works. Is, like, a lot of times, say I'm learning a song, I'll like have the chords in front of me, like I'm learning it on a guitar, and so it might be like a D, G, A type song, right? But because of the way the cello works, with not really being able to play full chords at once and everything, like, I'm more so playing different like licks and riffs that I'm trying to like imply the chord, so that we kind of hear it. Kind of another trick I do a lot too is, you can't play a full chord at the same time. What you can do is, like, I can make a D shape with my hand, and then I can, like, on one beat, play the lower notes, then I can go play the upper notes on the upper string and stuff like that. Various combinations of that I'm doing.
But you're not always playing thirds or anything like that, because I've noticed you'll move up and down to create a sound.
Yeah.
That complements what you're doing.
Yeah. So not always playing the thirds, or not always playing the fifths either. They're the way I think of it is like they're target notes. I might have some other notes that are like passing notes to lead to that target note, but the three notes in like a D chord, for instance, which would be D, F sharp, and A, are like my targets.
Do you find the process is kind of fluid for you now, that when you want to do something, you can pretty well sit down and go, okay, I can make this work?
Yeah, I definitely think, especially with covers, it feels really fluid for me right now. It's kind of, so I think a big thing, I just turned 30 this year, right? So I think for me, there's a bit of, I know I'm still a young whippersnapper a little bit, but there's also
yes, you are.
But I'm not as young as I was 10 years ago.
Right.
So I feel like that's the good spot to be in, right? Is I've definitely, that process for me has become more fluid with having at least some experience at it now.
Well, I find too that slowing down a little bit, I hear more.
Yeah.
So that's an interesting sound. Yeah. 30 is the only age where I actually cry.
Oh, wow.
But it's been great ever since.
I didn't cry when I turned 30.
Yeah, well, that's good.
I was happy
that's
about
good. So you say your mother was a singer. My mother sang in the choir, and so I learned a bit about thirds and fifths from her. She never said it that way, but with choir music, it's chords, essentially chords moving up and down.
Yeah.
That's interesting. So can I assume that your mother taught you about singing, or is that something that just sort of came naturally? Because it sounds, I hate to say you sound trained, but you really get the note. And that takes an awareness of how to use your voice, how to use your breath. So I did.
Yeah. I never had any, like, my mom never sat me down and said, this is how you do this, I would just hear her singing a lot, and I know we've talked, of course, about like Roy Orbison, right? And that type of voice that he has, and like that warmth and that roundness to his tone.
Right.
So I would say that my mom has a similar type of like delivery in her voice, right? Like that kind of warmth and roundness when she sings. Certainly a much higher voice, but I think between my mom and people like Roy Orbison that's actually where I really learned how to control my voice
Mm-hmm.
more so, just imitating people like that.
Mm-hmm.
Cause yeah, I would hear my mom sing a lot, but yeah, she never actually sat me down though. It was just like honestly just like hearing what she did and
Yeah.
even imitating it a little
But
bit.
she was around, you could hear what was going on, she knew what she was doing.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a good
Yeah.
effect for you. Thing, yeah. So you said you were out and playing music pretty early on. When we're talking early on, what are you talking about?
So I know I mentioned like I would be playing in church like every week, so that's kind of where I started playing.
Mm-hmm.
It was around the time I was like 18 that that was the first time I was like doing
Mm-hmm.
this with the cello.
Okay.
That was just open mics that we had in college and stuff, and that led to just a few gigs, and then once I got like a little older, like 21, that was when I really started to like play out a lot more, like actually like performances and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of where all that started.
Okay. So it sounds like you're comfortable with playing out. That doesn't mean necessarily like it. Do you like getting out there and playing out
Yeah,
for people?
absolutely. I think I really over the past like year, 2 years have really been especially reminded just how powerful live music is.
Mm.
You know, and yeah, I mean, it's also my day job too. I work as a music therapist, and so yeah, I'm always in the room with people playing music, and that I think that energy and just the way the room changes, like I still love that.
Absolutely. Yeah, yeah. Somebody came in and played the harp when my late wife was in the hospital, and everybody was like, "Wow."
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
important work.
Yeah.
Good for you. Yeah. Anybody ever say to you, "What the hell are you doing? You're playing the cello."
So usually that happens before I play. Like I would say, I've even more recently, but I think the whole time I've been doing this, I've had moments where I'm setting up to play, and maybe somebody's like I hear people like kind of behind my back being like, "What's this guy doing?" You know, or you know, but I'm definitely very grateful to say that usually, yeah, when people hear me play, they're like,
Right.
"Whoa!"
Right.
So
Right. So that's what we can expect. Yeah. Nice. Oh, you ever play with anybody? Have somebody accompany you?
yeah, so I do sometimes. Sometimes I do play in like I have a band of like people that we just gig occasionally. I have like a drummer and like another singer and sometimes a bassist. Now usually when I do that, I have an electric version of my cello.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, so that it kind of functions like a synthesizer a little bit with the way just the effects pedals and how it changes everything.
I had never thought of that.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Just kind of because of the bow especially. But so I'll do that. That's definitely a different sound than when I do solo for the most part. I think a lot of times when I play when it's just me and like my acoustic cello, it feels to me like it's almost like a maybe like a potent like food of some kind, like something with this like a nice like strong taste that I don't want to dilute too much. And I think that's always a tricky thing. Is like there's like a certain just the way it works in my mind of like adding too many other things to it kind of dilutes it to some extent.
Yeah, so you're not going to put a wah on it or anything like that.
Yeah, not on the acoustic.
Right. Okay. But on the electric?
Yeah, on the electric I do.
Pedal board of some kind that you use with it?
Yeah, the electric I do.
So what sort of sounds?
Yeah, so my pedal board on the electric has a couple overdrive pedals. There's a flanger. I have a couple reverbs and delays, and a chorus, and like a wah pedal. It really is. It's the same difference between playing electric and acoustic guitar. It's definitely the same type of difference.
Okay. So, well, with an electric guitar, generally it's like a lighter touch, but I don't know if that's true for an electric cello.
Kinda, yeah. Mine also has an extra string, like it's a lower one.
Oh, okay.
But it's kind of just. I think it's probably similar, like with the electric guitar. If I think about it, like the lighter touch part kind of comes from the neck is thinner. There's less of a body, you know, because when you play like my electric, it's honestly just like a stick. It's kind of like this. It's like all this side part you don't even have. So
yeah, I noticed that with there's a women's band, the Waylon Jennings.
oh yeah,
Their bass player has one that actually sort of stands up.
yeah,
And it's like it ends down here, but the sound is a bass.
yeah,
And she bows it.
yeah.
Yeah,
I know there's
interesting thing.
some bluegrass bands that use those types of basses. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So once you see something like that, any particular way you get ready to do something, to get ready to go out? I mean,
Like when I'm performing.
when you're performing, yes.
Not really specific rituals, I would say. I mean, I guess the only main thing I do is like I like to just kind of stand outside for a few minutes before I play, just take it in and
Like
get ready.
get in the zone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I actually say post show I kind of have the ritual usually. I mean, because I just get really hungry after perform, so
Really?
so yeah, usually that'll be like I'm just going to like a Sheetz or a Rudders or something like that, and getting gas station
You're
food.
not picky.
Not after I get it, no. Something about performing does make me just very hungry.
Well, does it make it handy as far as performing in a place like Ashland where you can get food?
Oh yeah, yeah.
So that's
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So is going back to singing, because that's part of what drew me to what I heard you doing. What would you tell people about singing that's important to you in your mind?
I think really being able to produce like a good sound without straining your voice. I would say that that's the biggest thing. You want to get that breath. I mean, it's supposed to come from your diaphragm, right? So you want to get that coming in from your stomach and your diaphragm. You don't want to like push through your throat or anything like that. Like especially for like longevity,
Right.
Like
Right.
the more you just push, the more you're risking injuring your vocal cords.
Yeah.
So
Well, one thing I tell people is don't be timid. Because then you'll sing from your throat.
yeah.
Come from here. Whatever mistakes you're going to make them, because you can correct it over time.
Yeah.
And getting ready. Well, I do scales.
Yeah.
Every day. I do vocal scales every day. Do you do anything?
I usually warm up with that. I'll do some scales and I'll kind of do like the buzzing thing.
Oh yeah, right.
It helps.
But it does. I mean, I took a class in vocalization, and they played different people doing that.
Yeah.
One of them was Michael Jackson.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So he knew that stuff, and he'd go around like this.
Yeah. It really does. It relaxes your throat so much.
Yeah. Well, and other things sort of keep my voice limber. There's one song that Orbison does called The Comedians.
Oh yeah.
It's this absolute upper range. And I do it once a day, just to sort of keep that my voice limber in that regard. Because I tried to do it one time without doing that, and I squeaked it out. But that's what happens. So, what sort of different places do you play? There's so many breweries around, and they hire people, and you see these names all over the place. I mean, it's amazing how many people. But I don't know if what other sorts of places you've played.
Yeah. I've kind of played a little all over. A lot of brewers in the area. Recently, I've kind of scaled back a little bit. I do a once a month residency at a place in York, Pennsylvania. It's called the King George. It's like downtown, like where Two Tony's, the Italian restaurant is.
Yeah, well, I know about York in general.
Yeah,
right down in there.
Yeah, so they have like a little
Around the
speakeasy.
square. Or...
Yeah, it's kind of in the square. They have like this really nice speakeasy. Like, I really love playing there because it's a really nice intimate space. Like, I think you can really only get like 20 or 30 people in there at like full capacity.
Okay.
it's got a bit of, I mean, when I say speakeasy, it like has a bit of that aesthetic,
Right.
you know,
Right.
like in the cocktails and everything.
Uh-huh.
I really like playing that place. I also play a lot at a place called BC Brewery down in Hunt Valley. That's usually when I play with my full band. And then kind of here and there, I have some recurring stuff. Like there's one coming up where I play at Maze Quest in Delta. They have like a Sunflower Fest.
Okay.
So I'm doing that one next weekend. And then I'm trying to get myself a little bit into like into the scene of playing like more original like venues and stuff like that. Like I actually just booked a show at Zen West in 2 weeks.
Zen West?
Zen West in Baltimore.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So,
Well, I think part of what can happen with breweries is that you're competing
yeah.
with the customers. So, and that's just the nature of like an open mic.
Yeah.
So it sounds like these other places may offer people who are really coming to listen.
Yeah, and that's a lot of why I scaled back from, because I mean, a couple of years ago, I was probably playing out like 5 times a month, maybe 6. Scaling back's been good because I've been able to be more intentional about being at those places where people are more there to listen and you're not competing.
Yeah.
That's been the biggest thing.
Intentional is such a great word. And I think it's something people don't let themselves sit back and go, what do I want from this?
Yeah.
And I think that's part of what I'm exploring in this is like, what do I want to do? How do I want to feel?
Yeah.
Where do I want to be? And sometimes you're someplace where you don't really want to be there, but you make the most of it. You made a commitment. But I think to stop, I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah. I think it's absolutely really important. For me, music has been my job for the past 7 years. So, so for a period of that time, it was, this is my job. I just got to get out and make money. But, thankfully when I got my music therapy job, my first one, and then now this new one, it is a full-time job. So that makes my life so much easier as far as the making money part of it.
Sure.
So that'll allow me to scale back and say, okay, when I do these performances outside of that, what do I want out of this? How do I want to feel? And I think anybody who's, it's definitely a different game when you are paying your bills that way versus this is what you're doing because you're passionate about it.
Where do you do the music therapy?
I work for GBMC. They have a hospice called Gilcrest.
Oh yes.
Yeah, so I've been there for the past year. They're amazing. Yeah, it's a great place to be.
Now, do you pretty much play what you want to play, what you think is appropriate to the moment, or do people say, gee, I'd really like to hear thus and such?
Yeah, so when I get referred to go see somebody, most of the time the people sending me the information will say they like this kind of music. We 100% try to
get a sort of heads up about their inclination.
Most of the time. Now if people can talk to me, because depending upon if somebody can talk to me or they can't, I might be talking to their family as well.
Right.
But we always try to center around music people like, and especially music from when they were young. I'm sure you probably heard some of the research that goes into like music being able to bring back some memories for people. Yeah, a lot of that especially is when music you were listening to when you were a teenager or young adult.
Right.
So
they get to visit a space that they've known in their lifetime. Yeah. Well, that's something very special to offer. I worked in hospice for 3 years. So
that's right. Yeah, I remember you telling me that.
With Gilchrist and that sort of thing can lift. It may sound kind of strange, but to help somebody kind of move along that path with some sense of equanimity about what's going to happen to them, music can really contribute to that.
Absolutely.
Well done. That's nice. So what would you say to somebody who's looking to do music, to make it part of their journey? Let's say they're finally considering it and what to think about.
think going back to what we were talking about a minute ago, like of asking, what do I want out of this? You know,
Mm-hmm.
I think
Mm-hmm.
I think especially because whatever your journey with music looks like, there's work that you kind of have to put into it. You know, like
Mm-hmm.
if you're going up there and performing, and you know you have a standard for yourself, you know, and you're trying to put your best foot forward. You know, there's work you got to put into it. You know, like I mean, you know, like when you play a song live for the first time, you've probably practiced it a lot, like quite a lot beforehand. You know.
Hopefully.
Hopefully. That's the idea. I mean, not always. Like sometimes people just throw it together. But even when like you throw a song together, there's still that time you spent practicing other things beforehand that allow you to say, well, I can do this because it's like this, you know.
Right.
So
Right. So you have those reference that you can go to and say, I heard this.
yeah.
So that can help you along.
Yeah. And I would definitely just say, because you're going to be putting in that work, you know, that, you know, you want to make sure you have that fire underneath you for whatever you're doing in music, you know, but having that fire, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, one of the things I talked about in the previous video that I made, you know, is go in there, offer the best that you can, and be ready to hear other people, and but to do it.
Yeah.
You know? So show up and do it, and I've been doing this now for about 2.5 years, but I remember just showing up. Get in the car and show up.
Yeah. That's definitely a big part of it.
So is there any overall sense of what you do that's meaningful to you, as far as what you do, why you do it, how you do it, if you put it together in a sort of package?
Yeah. There's a lot of things, really. I mean, that's why music. I mean, I love music so much that it is my job. You know. I mean, I certainly love. We were talking about how a room changes when you're in the room with somebody making music. I love making people feel things. You know, all kinds of things. All right, I like making people laugh and cry and everything in between. You know, I love writing as like a way to express myself, and you know what I think about whatever the world or whatever's going on. You know, I love how music can meet somebody where they're at and be what they needed in the moment. You know, like there's so much love about it, and it feels like, you know, the process of it too for me is, you know, it feels unnatural for me to not play at some point during my day. You know, that's just, I'm so wired to do that.
Right, so much a part of you.
Yeah.
Yeah, at this point. Okay. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Really appreciate this conversation.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
You're very welcome, Jake.